What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Solvice. Thanks for joining me once again. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Today we're taking a look at the latest collaboration between Undefeated and Nike with the Air Max 97 in the Militia green colorway. I'm gonna be giving you an in-depth review on these. I'm gonna let you know exactly what I think about them. I'll break them down and give you all the details I think you should know about before you decide whether or not this is a shoe you wanna cop for yourself. And as always, you're gonna be getting those buttery smooth B-roll shots as well as some 4K on-feet footage as well. And as an added bonus, I actually ended up copying the other colorway that came along with the Militia greens, the black and Bolt colorway. Now, I'm not as big a fan of these, so I wasn't really planning on doing a full review for them, but just in case there's some people out there who were interested in these, I figured I'd kind of show them off and show you some of the similarities and some of the differences. Now, if you end up liking this video, do me a huge favor, let the YouTube algorithm know also by hitting the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel also if you haven't done so already, and hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when I post videos just like this one. Now, these originally dropped last month in December. It's been pretty much a month since I originally ordered these, but for whatever reason, Undefeated takes a very long time to ship stuff out. I'm sure if you've ever ordered from them, you already know that. I'm probably an hour, maybe less away from Undefeated, and it still took them that long to get them to me, but nonetheless, they are here now. Now, you're probably wondering if I'm not a fan of the black pair, why I ended up buying the black pair, and that's because Undefeated did an early release on their website, I think about a week before the official release, and they sold both of them together as a pack. And if you bought them as a pack on early release day, there was a chance that you'd get a matching figurine set to go along with the shoes. And I really wanted that figurine set, at least to match with my Militia green 97s, but unfortunately I was not one of the lucky ones. Now, I don't always go over packaging on releases, but anytime it's unique or different than what we're used to, I'll let you guys know about it. And that goes for this pair too. This is the same box that I'm pretty sure every Undefeated Nike collaboration comes in. Both my Kobe 4 Protros and my Air Max 90s came in this same box. So I'm pretty sure they all come in this box. But you get this matte black box with this glossy black lettering. So you get the Nike logo up on the top, and then on both of the longer sides of the box, you get glossy black Undefeated logos, and then you also get a glossy black Nike logo up here in the corner. Now, this is a pull-out style box. Normally we get like a clamshell style box with Air Maxes, but again, all Undefeated boxes come like this. Now, these are very similar, if not identical, to a pair of Undefeated Air Max 97s that came out back in 2017 as a Complex Con exclusive or a friends and family pair. The color blocking is exactly the same. I'm pretty sure the details are all exactly the same. Those are just listed as olive, whereas these are Militia green. So I think the shade of green is just slightly different, but I'm pretty sure unless you have them side by side, you're really not going to know the difference. So I think it's pretty cool that that pair that everybody really liked ended up coming out this many years later. And at this point, you can get these for retail. I don't know why, but nobody wanted either one of these shoes. The black pair is actually going for under retail right now. It's crazy. It's not exactly what I was expecting, but either way, if you like these shoes, at least they're very accessible now. Now, taking a look at the upper on these, they use quite a few different materials. As far as I can tell, every single one of them is synthetic. You've got a couple different styles of mesh. Down here toward the bottom, you've got this solid Militia green panel that runs all the way around the shoe. This is a synthetic material that, as far as I can tell, isn't really trying to mimic any organic types of material like a leather or a suede. It's just kind of like a nylon material that I actually do like. It's got a nice matte finish to it. On each side of the shoe, on the outside and the inner side of the shoe, you've got this window that is done in kind of like a plastic mesh over a Militia green panel, and you've got your black embroidered swoosh there. Now, up toward the middle of the upper here, you've got this synthetic leather panel. Again, runs around the entire length of the shoe here. The panel itself is done in Militia green. It does have a black stripe toward the bottom, and you've got your white Undefeated logo kind of stamped periodically on that black stripe. Now, the top half of the upper is done in this ballistic mesh, also in Militia green. And then on top of that, you've got these two rings of 3M material, and this 3M does pop nice and bright. And that's actually not the only instance of 3M on these. Also on the tongue, you've got this black loop that keeps your laces tied down. That's also 3M. Now, up at the top of the tongue, you've got this black oval with this embroidered orange swoosh. The black oval is like a felt material or maybe like a synthetic suede. And then, of course, at the top, you've got your orange pull tab with your Undefeated logo there as well. Now, the black pair is pretty similar to the Militia green pair. Basically, just take everything that's Militia green and turn it black, except for a few details. So the window here with the Nike swoosh is still done in Militia green, but instead of a black swoosh, you have a white swoosh. And then the synthetic leather panel here, still synthetic leather, still Militia green with a black stripe, but instead of the white Undefeated logos, you've got Volt Undefeated logos. And then on the tongue up at the top where the oval on the last one was black, it is now Militia green. And instead of orange pull tabs and a swoosh, you've got Volt. And then of course this is an Air Max 97, so you've got full length air on these. Now cradling that air unit is polyurethane. And then on the inside of the air bubble, all the structural pillars are done in Militia green. Now moving down to the outsole on these, it's almost completely black as you can see, but you do have a couple of orange hits on the heel and up on the toe. And then of course an orange Nike swoosh here as well. And I've always liked the 97s because the logo down here, it's kind of in its own air bubble. You can actually compress it when you push on it. And I've always thought that that was a cool detail. Now the weird thing about this outsole is this waffle type pattern up here on the toe area. Each individual square or rectangle has like a nib right in the center. So if you have your foot planted or your toes planted and you twist your foot, it kind of moves around a little bit and it doesn't feel very stable. The traction itself doesn't seem very sticky. And I don't know if that gets better as you walk in them, but I don't know, it was really weird. I kind of thought that I stepped in a puddle when I first was walking in these. Not really a pro or a con, I don't run in them, but it's just something I thought was worth mentioning. Now the outsole is actually the one detail that I do like better on the black pair. I love how much Volt is here. I really wish on the Militia green pair you had orange where you have Volt on these. There's a ton of Volt on this outsole. It's just super loud and vibrant. And I love how on the side profile, you get the Volt kind of like peeking out from the outsole. It's just a really cool look, and I think they did a great job with the outsole on the black pair. Now on the insole on these, you do have a polyurethane insole lined with this Militia green felt material. And on the heel, you've got an Undefeated logo with that orange Nike swoosh. Now, just like with every other pair of Air Maxes, I ordered my true to size on these, and I think they fit great. I don't think I would recommend up or down half a size on these. However, if you get a chance to try on a pair of Air Max 97s, maybe at a local Foot Locker or something like that, I'm sure they've got a pair of 97s and these are gonna fit just like those. So go ahead and try those on if you can. But if not, I would just order true to size and I think you'll be happy with that. Now, as far as comfort goes on these, I'd say they're pretty comfortable. They're probably average or slightly above average on comfort. Not nearly as comfortable as my Air Max 95s or even my Air Max 90s, but they are pretty lightweight, and I think, you know, in a day of walking in them, my feet would be perfectly happy. The only thing I will say is I was pretty surprised that even with this humongous full-length air unit, you don't really feel the air unit compress under your feet quite as much. And even in my on-feet footage, I was really trying to compress that air unit, and it did compress, but not nearly as much as like my Air Max 95s or again, even my Air Max 90s. So I was pretty surprised about that. Now, I really only have one complaint about this particular pair of shoes, and that's the quality control. I just feel like it probably could have been a little bit better, especially considering that this is a limited collaboration. Most of the time, limited collaborations have a little bit better quality control just because there's fewer pairs to go around, and it's a special release, so I feel like they pay attention to details a little bit more. But there was actually some white overpaint onto the green portion here from the midsole. There's also some white paint on the air unit itself. And that's just something that I really wish I didn't see on a limited collaboration like this. It's not terrible, but again, I just feel like it could have been a little bit better. Now let me know down in the comments below, did you guys end up picking up a pair of the Undefeated Air Max 97s? Either this pair, the black pair, or even that UCLA pair that came out a little bit later. I definitely think they're worth picking up if you haven't done so already. I'll leave a couple links down there in the description if you want to get a pair for yourself. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.